Hello, welcome once again to this tutorial. So in this section, we'll be discussing about pseudo elements. And what are pseudo elements? Pseudo elements are keywords added after a selector that is used to style a specific part of an element. What did I mean? Something like, let's say I have my p tag and I have something like welcome, right? So over there in my CSS, here is my p tag. So in this place, this is considered as what? The selector. This p tag is considered as the what? The selector. So here I can now have my styling. Let's say something like color blue. So here's my selector, here's my property, here's my value. So these pseudo elements are keyword added afterward a selector. So something like this, after the selector, I will now have something like this. Let's say first line or whatever. So this is how pseudo elements work. So they are keyword added after a selector. So now let's proceed to see how it works. So for example, in this my p element, I have something like lorem let's say 50. Okay, so I can come here and put my selector p and then add what? My pseudo element. And be it known to you that pseudo element is represented with double column. That of pseudo class is represented with single column, but that of element is represented with double column. So I can decide to do some more things. So let's say pseudo element of first letter. So over here in my browser, I can see something like this. So this is my p element, right? Then over here to my CSS, over here in my CSS, I have something like p first letter, the pseudo element of first letter. So I want you to have a font size of, let's say 40 pixels, and that of color of what? Blue, right? So let's go over to our browser. We see something like this. So this is the effect of what? Pseudo element. So you see, it styles a particular or a specific part of the element. Here is the element, p element, but pseudo elements allow us to style a specific part of that element. So we can go back, we can decide to do another thing. Let's say instead of first letter, we can choose first line. Then over there in our browser, you can see still a part of what? The p element. See a part of the p element that we're able to style. So then over there again, we can see decide to do so many other things. We can decide to use one of what? Selection, pseudo element of selection. Maybe I can remove this if I want. I can say, okay, I need when it is being selected, then have a background of background color of red and color of what? Blue, right? So I can have something like this. Then over there in my browser, if you notice, I'm not seeing any styling being implemented, right? Because I make use of what? Pseudo element of selection. So only when I will see that style is when I use my cursor to select the text. So if I do something like this, so you can see the background color changing to red and the color changing to blue. So that is the effect of what? Pseudo element of what? Selection. This is the value selection. So then we can do a couple of things still. So maybe if I don't want to make use of this, I can say, okay, let me have another element. Let's say my UL that is on ordered list. Then I can have the list of, let's say 4, right? Good. I can have the list of 4. Then I can have something like home. Let's say about us. About us. We can say services. And again, we can decide to say something like contact us. So over there in our browser, we see something like this, right? So now we are going to style this with a pseudo element. So I can decide to say my UL, maybe the before pseudo element. Then this before pseudo element require a content. So I can have my content. So have something like maybe my check mark. So I can have something like my check mark. So over there in my browser, you can see these check mark are before the each individual list, right? So I can decide to use the after pseudo element. the after pseudo element. So you see the check mark is behind, right? So in ordered list we have the list of numbers, but on ordered list we have this list of what dots. So if I want to replace this with this my check mark, so I can simply you make use of the pseudo element of what marker. So I can use something like this, LOI, then marker, right? So I still accept what content. So I can use this, and then may say let me get rid of this one. So over there in my browser, you see, I've used this check marker to replace that dot. So, and that's how you can implement pseudo element in doing whatever you want. So you can even add an image, or let's say an emoji or an icon to a text, define or amplifying what it is. So with this, we have come to the end of this tutorial, and I hope you find this video helpful, and I wish to see you in the next one.